Now I know what you're thinking. Here we go again, making a bunch of big trades. Week two after getting ass whooped getting ass whooped in the beginning of the season. Yep. So welcome guys to my transactions for CLDL season 7. I've used all of my transactions and it is technically not even week 2 yet, but I felt like I needed to make some changes. So, here's what changed. Tapu Fini, or I'm sorry, not Tapu Fini. Terra Moltres went bye-bye. Ogerpon Wellspring went bye-bye. Tinkaton went bye-bye. And Terra Cursula went bye-bye. Unfortunately. Um, so I don't really hate any of those mons, like, specifically. I've wanted to use Tinkaton for, like, quite some time. But, unfortunately, uh, I've kind of realized I get destroyed by electric types. And also I have like zero priority. Um my priority like before was I guess a lone sand slash and like ice shard from that and sucker punch Darkrai, which isn't like super common. I didn't really have any priority otherwise, and Darkrai, like even though it's a good fast mon, other people have faster options, especially because there's like two Sun teams and like Protosynthesis speed and like Quark drive speed, and I think it's nice to get some priority. So what I ended up doing was I grabbed Azumarill, Terra Gudra Hisui, Lycanroc Dusk, and Terra Decidueye, and I swapped the Terra off of Alolan Sandslash in order to fit Decidueye on the team. Decidueye is like I won't even start with Decidueye. I'm gonna start with the Azumarill first. So Azumarill is very good. It was like 12 points, and I considered putting it on my team prior to actually it was like during the draft. I was gonna put it on my team. If Primarina was open, this slot 100% would have been Primarina, and I probably would have just I don't know what I would have done in this scenario actually. I think Decidueye would have had to been like a different grass. Then I would have kept Terra on Sandslash, and I would have probably kept Cursula. Um, for the extra points because there wasn't a lot of grass types that I wanted on my team. Um, but yeah, if Primarina was there over Azu, I definitely would have taken Prim. But Azu's still good. It's very bulky. Water Fairy is a good typing. 50 attack is not good, but it has huge power, which is good. I would say its offensive typing and its defensive typing is a lot better than I think Diggersby. Diggersby's attack stat's a little bit higher, but um, Azu kinda. I don't like it. Feels like it hits harder. Maybe it doesn't feel like it hits as hard now, but it's at least not as frail as Diggersby. So I thought it was still a good addition to the team. Getting priority Aquajet, like reliable priority with Aquajet, is awesome. Um, so yeah, I added that to the team. Next up, I added Terra Gudra Hisui. So again, I've mentioned my team is very weak to electric. Zapdos, as an electric type itself, doesn't resist electric, and Great Tusk, as you can see on the stats, has 53 special defense. So basically, like any electric type with a coverage move, which at this point is like all of the usable electric types, like we're not facing like I can't even say it anymore. Like, we're not facing Gen 6 Jolteon. This is Gen 9 Jolteon. Jolteon demolished Great Tusk with Alluring Voice. So many other electric types just have, like, coverage now. Like, you have to deal with, like, Kilowattrel and stuff like that. I have to face Terra Sandy Shocks and Terra Bellybolt week 2 and week 3 back to back. And I absolutely had nothing for those guys. Not to say that I promote counter teaming, but if you can look at all your matchups and like even based on week one, when you get demolished by like the cheapest mon on their team, like you know there's a problem with your team. And I guess I should have seen that coming from further away, but I kind of thought like, oh, Terra Moltres can handle it. But then I'm like, no, because um, I thought Glow King would be enough to handle some of the electric types, but no, it's just gonna get Volt switched on and then Pursuit trapped, just like it's gonna get like. I looked at some of my matchups. I'm like, yeah, electric type comes in. I have to go into Glow King. They Volt switch into their Dark type that has Pursuit, and I lose my Glow King, and then I just lose to electric type henceforth. So I had to add Gudra Hisui to the team. As a Terramon, I think most types work on it. Like I've seen Terra Fairy, I've seen Terra Steel, Terra Dragon, Fairy, Fighting, Water, um, Ground. It has Sap Sipper, which is awesome because it gives it that grass immunity, which isn't like the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Which is kind of funny that I have two Sap Sipper mons, Azu and Gudra Hisui. Um, which is decent because they take those grass hits for Tusk and I guess Lycanroc. If I have to face like that Rillaboom team with Grassy Glide, that's going to be very good for those. I mean, I have Zapdos, but and to be fair, I used to have Moltres, but I think overall Gudra is a good addition to the team, and it actually resists electric because I needed that like actual electric resist that wasn't oh, Glow King will take a hit. Oh, Tusk will take like a hit from an electric type. Nah, nah, nah. Even like Zeraora, like the physical mon that Tusk should wall gets Grass Knot, and Tusk is going to get demolished by a Grass Knot. So yeah, I needed an electric resist, and I saw Gudra Hisui was there for like 11 points. Well, it's 10 points, but 11 with Terra, and I'm like, okay, I think Gudra's actually solid, and I have one of the best rockers in the format. I also have a good suicide lead rocker. Um, Not that I really play it that way, and I also have Sand Slash if I ever feel like chilly reception into like just like fast spikes stealth rock, or even like spin. I did feel bad I had to take Terra off Alola Slash, but I'll talk about that in a second. So my next mon is Lycanroc. Again, I liked it along with Azumarill as just a priority clicker, and it can hold an item. So the problem I had with Ogerpon was, well, it was my grass type, and typically our grass type wants to resist like ground and electric. I guess I didn't really consider grass as like an electric resistance, but if your electric type is not resisting electric, then um, you might want to get, I don't know, you might want to like fix something there because yeah, again, Tusk was my only electric resistance. Um, and yeah, I guess my problem with Ogerpon is I couldn't hold an item. It kind of gets demolished by like U-turn. Like I have to be facing Meow, Cinderace, Gren. Ogerpon just kind of falls flat in those matchups, and like yeah, it's unfortunate. I think I like Ogerpon as a mon, but I think um, that mon has like so many drawbacks in Wellspring and Cornerstone forms sometimes, just being so weak to U-turn, which is weird to say because people think Wellspring and Cornerstone are the best ones, but I honestly think Hearthflame is probably the best one. Um, and I like the Teal Mask one too because it can hold an item. It can hold like Tangaberry too. I just in general like it can hold items. It can scarf too. That's something Lycanroc can do for me, is it can Scarf if it has to, it can run a Cell I guess it doesn't need a Scarf because a Cell usually beats things that are faster than it. Um, or speed tying it, like Hearth Flame, for example. I can just, like, a Cell delete that thing. Tough Claws boosting a Cell is awesome. It also, like, Tough Claws, it's not stab. It's not like a stab boost, but it's like almost having a stab on moves like Close Combat and like Play Rough and Psychic Fangs. You could almost think of Close Combat as like a 90 base power stab move, probably. I could be like very wrong on my math, but like I don't know. I feel like you can almost count it as a stab move, and like Lycanroc is really hard to switch into. Like, there's not a single mon on my team currently that can switch into Lycanroc Dusk. And you have to, even with 110 speed, like, it's not the best speed tier in the world anymore, but I think it's still somewhat hard to like outrun it in some instances, and its HP is high enough to where it can take a hit. Um, so yeah, I added Lycanroc Dusk. If I could have Terra'd that thing instead, I would have, but they Terra banned it. I think Terra Lycanroc Dusk is probably like super good, but I've never seen it before, but I would like to see it personally at some point. Um, Next up, I've added Terra Decidueye. The Decidueye was 9 points whether or not I Terra'd it or not. So I just decided to take Terra off Sand Slash because it allowed me to pick up the Decidueye. Otherwise, my grass type, there just wasn't any good grass types on the board. Most of them were taken or they're like super low tier, and I couldn't pick up another mon. I would have loved to have like a fire type, so like I could have picked up Leafeon, and if this was a league that allowed, um, 5 trades instead of four, because that's something I saw in the rules is I could only make 4 trades, which was Terra Moltres, Tinkaton, or yeah, Terra Moltres, Tinkaton, Ogerpon, Wellspring, and Cursula for Azumarill, Goodra, Lycanroc, and Decidueye. If there was a fifth trade, I could have seen myself adding Terra Leafeon and then doing like Terra like Alola Whack because I wouldn't have had my Ghost type, and then it would have allowed me to keep a Fire type that also kind of works in the Trick Room that Glowking can give. Um, so I would have liked to do that, but Decidueye works. And actually, the thing that Decidueye adds on this team is I lost like a lot of my pivoting. Ogerpon and Moltres both had U-turn, and I lost U-turn from both of them. So keeping a U-turn mon with Decidueye was at least kind of nice. Um, I've used Decidueye like a little bit before, but I feel like it really doesn't. It's not like the best mon in the world, but I think with Terra it could be decent, at least in scenarios where I wouldn't want to Terra Gudra. I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna Terra Gudra in most weeks, but I think at least having Terra and Decidueye helps. And if I find like a matchup where they're like super weak to Ghost, because I have to keep in mind that Spectre was banned, so most people, I guess I can't say most people because I'd have to look at everyone's teams like in this instance, but people like they didn't have to prep for Spectre, which means like they're not required to have both a dark and a normal to like not auto lose to Spectre. So if they don't have a normal type or like a good dark type, then technically like Weavile could like bandage Shadow Sneak and like destroy things. 107 attack isn't awesome, but I've seen Brambleghast with like a 115 attack do phenomenal work. I would have also loved to put Brambleghast on this team, like Terra Brambleghast, but unfortunately, I think Wobbuffet has it, and he also picked it up like really early, which I think is weird. But yeah, Terra Decidueye, it gets U-turn, it gets defog if I have to do that. Spirit Shackle is actually like a decent tool that it has. Leaf Storm. I could do like the Tangrowth thing. It has its special attack is lower than Tangrowth, but I did that like Choice Specs Leaf Storm with Tangrowth last week. And technically, Decidueye would probably do it better because it's a little bit faster. But yeah. Um, so this is the trades. Um, Overall, I think I have a little bit better synergy on this team. My pivoting could use some work. I think Zapdos is pretty much going to be locked to like a defensive, like pivot backbone almost. Maybe not because I feel like my offense is like a little bit slower and a little bit worse overall, but I think my defensive backbone is a lot better, and I'm not just gonna auto lose to Terra Sandy Shocks and like Terra Belly Bolt in the next 2 weeks. Like I actually feel like I have a chance, and hopefully this stops me from getting 6-0'd because if I continue to just lose every week, this is it. Like I can't make any more trades. This is my team. I would say some other options I had was I considered Tapu Fini over Azumarill, and it would have allowed me to pick up Sceptile as my grass type. However, I thought keeping a Ghost would have been it would have been good. The reason why I didn't keep an Ogerpon or like go with Teal Mask was because um, I think I like Lycanroc more as like priority and like offensive, like picking off things if I have to. Because I think maybe Azumarill and Goodra tend to like not Oko things, and they're like forced to switch out, and I have to like pivot. And I have a decent slow pivot with Slow King, so if I can treat Lycanroc Dusk like it's a Mega Diancie, then I think it's gonna perform like pretty well. Um, and overall, like I think Feeny is better than Azumarill, but I think Feeny sometimes it lacks damage sometimes. Gen 9 is just a faster meta, and I think Azumarill like benefits a lot more in a faster meta, where it can come in, take a hit, and hit back harder. In the same instance, I think Sceptile as a grass isn't like the best grass type. Would have given me a better special attacker, but I think Goodra plus Slowking, Zapdos, Darkrai, those are like good enough, and I think Decidueye can be special too. Um, so I think that's good enough. Sceptile kind of lacks damage output at times. It's really frail. Decidueye can also be kind of frail, but at least its HP stat is high enough to where you can invest in it, and then it can actually be very tanky. Its special defense is pretty good. Its speed tier is something to be desired, but I think my speed tiers are still overall fine. Pretty much anything between like 127 and 85, or I'm sorry, like 125 and like 85, those are the only ones that matter. Anything slower doesn't really matter. Sand Slash is a lot faster than it actually appears because anytime I'm using Sand Slash, the snow would be up. But there's a lot of sun matchups that I have to face, so Sand Slash might have to wait its time to shine. Taking Terra off of it really sucks for me. If Decidueye was 8 points... Actually, no, I couldn't even have done that. I probably would have kept Terra on Sand Slash and then just not Terra Decidueye at that point. But, Decidueye was a free Terra, so I figured I'd just slap Terra on Decidueye, and Alola Slash just kind of has to deal with probably being a bench warmer all season. I hope maybe not, but that's all you can do sometimes. If you guys, um, I guess if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. Oh, also, nicknames. May not be able to see them. I guess you can see my matchup for next week. Um, I got the greater theme going on with this team. Everything ends with spice. I'll have to think of something for Decidueye. I had something there, but I think I accidentally deleted it, so if it was one of the Spice Girls... no, because I have Scary, Sporty, Posh, Baby, and Ginger, I believe. So that's all 5 of the Spice Girls. I even added Ice Spice and Old Spice. And like... oh, you know what? It was because this was gonna be Baby Spice, and I had Tapu Fini, and it was just gonna be Tapu Spice. However, I can't just call Azumarill Tapu Spice. So I'll have to think of something for Decidueye. Um, and yeah, this is my matchup. As you can see, I'm facing Terra Sandy Shocks, and my old team would have auto lost to this. I might still auto lose to it, but at least I have Terra Hisui and Gudra, and it like maybe it'll not die automatically to it like Earth Power, even if I don't Terra with it. So that's my option. And yeah, I will see you guys for week 2 and we face A12. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we will not get 6-0. Hopefully we'll just win. I needed to get like a win. Thank you.